Hello. Welcome to the Diversus channel. In this video, we have prepared an incredible story of the life of the Vikings, the most dangerous tribe that changed the world. I hope you like this video. Adventure men who came from cold lands and with their fantastic ships around the world. They were looting the world. They are Vikings. So many movies have been made about them and books have been written that they even exceed legends. Please stay with us until the end of the video. Who were the Vikings? The Vikings were a group of Scandinavian seafarers who were renowned for their exploration, trade, and raiding during the Middle Ages. Originating from what is now present-day Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, the Vikings expanded their influence throughout the Baltic Sea, North Atlantic Ocean, and even far-reaching places like the Mediterranean Sea, North Africa, and the Middle East. The most common image associated with Vikings is of fierce warriors in horned helmets and wearing heavy fur clothing. But the reality is that this was just a stereotype perpetuated by popular culture. The Viking people were actually quite diverse and included farmers, traders, artisans, and others who engaged in all sorts of activities to make a living. The Vikings had a deep appreciation for art and craftsmanship and produced beautiful metalworks, intricate jewelry, wooden carvings, and detailed tapestries. In terms of their lifestyle, the Vikings were no different than other societies during the Middle Ages. They had their own religion, celebrated holidays and festivals, and lived in small communities that were centered around their ships. They also developed an innovative boat-building technique which allowed them to travel great distances on their voyages of exploration. Though they are often remembered as ruthless raiders and conquerors, the Viking people were actually quite industrious and creative. Their skillful maritime travels allowed them to establish trade routes and settlements in Europe, while their pioneering spirit led to cultural exchange and lasting cultural legacies. From the language they spoke to the objects they created, the Vikings have left an indelible mark on our world. What made them so dangerous? The Vikings were considered one of the most feared and dangerous tribes of their time. They were known for their mastery of the sea, their ferocious raiding and pillaging tactics, and their courageous and ruthless warrior culture. It was this combination of strength and daring that made them such a feared enemy. The Viking raiders were mainly composed of fierce warriors who had no regard for authority or mercy. This is in stark contrast to other cultures of the same period which valued honor and loyalty over violence. The Vikings had a strong military presence, and their raids and battles were often characterized by their fierce ferocity and brutality. They were also highly mobile, traveling far distances in fast ships to reach their targets. The Vikings' raiding tactics were legendary. They would sail into foreign ports, often with little warning, and surprise their enemies. They would launch attacks on coastal villages, destroying homes, stealing loot, and taking captives. This terrorizing of the countryside was made even more effective by the Vikings' practice of capturing and enslaving their victims, who could then be used as forced labor or traded for ransom. It was not only their violent tactics that made them so dangerous. Their prowess in the seas allowed them to explore new lands, colonize them, and form trading networks with other countries. These activities allowed them to gain political power and influence across Europe, resulting in a golden age of Viking culture that lasted centuries. In short, the Vikings were a fierce tribe of warriors that terrorized Europe during their time. Their mastery of the seas, their violent raids and battles, and their ability to expand their influence beyond their homeland all helped contribute to their reputation as one of the most feared and dangerous tribes of all time. How did they change the world? The Vikings left an indelible mark on history. From the 8th to the 11th centuries, they dominated a vast area that extended from the Mediterranean to North America. The Vikings had a tremendous impact on the world, leaving behind a legacy that can still be seen today. In terms of trade and commerce, the Vikings were far ahead of their contemporaries. They were the first Europeans to establish settlements in the New World, founding colonies in Newfoundland, Canada, and Greenland. They also established settlements in Iceland and other parts of Europe. The Vikings used their formidable naval skills to establish trading posts in Ireland, England, France and beyond. The Vikings were renowned for their advanced seafaring technology. They used longships to sail long distances with ease, and were able to cross entire oceans. This allowed them to explore new lands and trade with foreign peoples. They brought goods such as furs, walrus ivory and walnut wood to Europe, while bringing back goods such as wine, spices and silver. The Vikings also had a lasting impact on culture and religion. They brought Scandinavian paganism to many European countries, eventually leading to the spread of Christianity. In addition, their raids and settlement of new lands resulted in the spread of their language, culture, and values throughout Europe. The Viking Age also saw a dramatic increase in warfare, as they fought against both other groups of Vikings and other European nations. They were known for their ferocity in battle, using tactics such as surprise raids and rapid attacks to overwhelm their enemies. This increased militarization had a major impact on the development of Europe's medieval feudal system. The influence of the Vikings is still felt today. Their exploration of new lands helped to shape the modern world map, and their trading activities had a significant impact on global commerce. In addition, their art and culture continue to influence modern society, from literature and film to popular fashion. All in all, it is no wonder that the Vikings are remembered as one of the most influential groups in history. To get other undiscovered secrets, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video and share it with your friends. Thank you.